if you really, really want to get over tinnitus, you have to stop listening to your mind and start listening to your body, okay? I see it all over the internet and it makes no sense to me, and also it makes no sense scientifically for anyone who wishes to get rid of tinnitus. Now just remember this, tinnitus is a neurological problem. You've either done damage to the nerves in your brain is dehydrated, or you're having issues with your digestive system and it can't feed your brain properly, okay? Now, I see this all the time, okay? I see people who give advice about tinnitus online and they say, yeah, man, just do what you feel, man. If you want to have a coffee, have a coffee. If you want to, have the burger, have the bread. It's fine, man. Like, yeah, we're all zen. We're all happy. We're all friends here. And it's such bullshit. It makes no sense. They haven't done the research and they're perpetuating that person's problem, okay? And it's sick and it's sad and it's really got to stop. Okay, it's not fair to the people. You shouldn't just be able to go online and spout all this shit, okay? So let me give you an example. The number one example is when somebody is addicted to something and, a tinnitus guru will say, oh, just have it, man. Just have the sugar, have the coffee. Now let's use caffeine as an example. So first of all, okay, tinnitus is highly linked to the adrenal glands. It's linked to B vitamin deficiency. But let's just stick with the fight or flight mechanism. The fight or flight mechanism is located in the adrenal glands, 2 thumb-sized glands on your back, above your kidneys. If you know what a kidney punch is, it's when you punch somebody just above the pelvis and below the rib cage, just in there like that. And it bloody hurts. Me and my brother used to do it to each other all the time. That's the punching the kidneys, okay? There. And the adrenal glands are located above there, and they secrete all sorts of adrenal hormones. But we're going to focus on cortisol, which is highly linked to tinnitus. Now, many people will know that when you drink coffee, your tinnitus spikes, okay? Now, the number one thing that happens when you drink coffee is it kicks your fight or flight mechanism, which is your sympathetic nervous system, okay? Sympathetic nervous system, bad. Parasympathetic nervous system, good. And they work like this, okay? What happens is you drink the coffee and you get the caffeine in your system. This is coffee, chocolate, sugar in energy drinks. This is in stimulating TV shows, horror shows, aggressive music. Believe me, all this stuff has been tested, and you can go. I implore you to research before you comment anything below my video. If you feel like taking the time to do that, go for it. But what happens is your adrenal glands get kicked into overdrive, you secrete cortisol, and your fight or flight mechanism goes up. But what else is happening? What else is happening in the long term there? You're also dehydrating your brain, and your brain needs to be wet to work, as I spoke to Jim McCarty about. It's going to be in an upcoming documentary, okay? So how exactly does that work? So when you drink caffeine, okay, it has a blood thickening effect. You secrete cortisol, you secrete biochemicals into the bloodstream, and it's a neurotoxin. And what happens is it thickens your blood. And so what do your cells do as a defense mechanism? They secrete water from the cells. They kind of sacrifice themselves. Cells all over the body, okay? Organs, brains, glands, secrete water from the cells into the body. Now, what happens is that basically helps the blood become decongested. But you've sacrificed the cells. So what happens is the cells now, okay, are pouring water, just percentage-wise, like 20% per cell, billions of cells, into the bloodstream, okay? But now you've got cells which don't have enough water in them, and so they can't work properly. The endoplasmic reticulum, which is a neurotransmitter, can't send messages to other parts of the brain. How does the hearing work? The endoplasmic reticulum in your inner ear and the cells needs to turn sound waves into electricity into the brain. Does that make fucking sense? Okay? It can't be much more simple. Now we're getting into the science in my videos, because one main reason, and it's not going to help these people, but I often see people who are too scared or stubborn, or they're older people who have tried everything except my advice, and they're like, who's this kid who says he has a solution? No, and they don't want to know that the solution was there this whole time because they've had a life of pain. And I get that, but you still don't have the right to comment stupid shit below my videos. So I see it all the time. They'll be like, I want to see the science, and what about this, and what about this, and what if I do this? And it's all avoidance behavior. So it's all avoidance behavior. They just don't want to try it. They want to avoid it because they'd be angrier if it worked than if it didn't work, because it's such a simple solution. It's so simple. Cutting out the bad foods and fasting, what could be easier than that? You save money, you fix the rest of your health, you lose weight, it's amazing. So they're like, I don't want it to work, like please don't let it work. And I see it all the time because they stumble on themselves and they ask the same question twice. And it's like, you're not even listening to the answer. You're not even listening and thinking about it. You're just waiting until I finish talking, and then you're jumping in with another reason as to why you shouldn't try to avoid the pain of it potentially working for you, okay? Now, where was I? So what happens is, as I said, the cells secrete liquid, okay, to fix the bloodstream, but then the cells are compromised. What happens is the body uses cholesterol to shield the cells from secreting too much water and dying and getting dry and dying when they shouldn't be dying, okay, because we shouldn't be having caffeine. It's not a thing that humans should be having, okay? Don't listen to any research. Just think about who the research is funded by. Do you think Nescafe and Dilma and all these tea companies, are like, yeah, like caffeine is bad, but you should still have it? People be like, fuck no. They're like, oh, look at these, 10 reasons why coffee helps heart disease, and 10 reasons why, coffee produces a 10% productivity rate in your employees and whatever. It's like, yeah, that's the shit they want you to see. But nobody wants to face the truth, which is so obvious, which is that it's not, especially when you mix it with dairy and sugar. Give me a break, okay? But what happens is cholesterol circles the cells after they've started secreting water. In order to protect it, the body's way of protecting all the cells, from glands to organs and bloodstream, from losing too much water and dying, okay? And then what happens is the cholesterol also gets into the lymphatic system, congests the lymphatic system, and now, so what's happening is proteins and minerals and trace minerals can't get from your digestive tract up into the rest of your body anymore. This is a very simplified version, up into your body or your brain or your nervous system anymore, and feed it, so your brain gets malnourished. Now it's dried out, and the cells can't get any nutrients in them. So the cells are now blocked off, and the lymphatic system doesn't work. So lack of a better word, you're McFucked. You're so McFucked. There's no going back, okay, unless you fix your diet. And I'm just so sick of all these stupid people online saying, oh, just have it if you want it. I get it, transitioning off. And people will say, I quit coffee for a week and I had the worst spike of my life. Yeah, because you're addicted to it. You've had it for 2 decades. You've got withdrawals. You don't enjoy your life. You don't like the people in your life. So you use these drugs, and it is a drug, as a way to get away from it. Sugar, chocolate, alcohol, porn, thriller movies, horror movies. Yeah, it's fun. I like all that stuff too, but within reason, not every single day. It becomes too much. You become addicted. You become a sort of zombie, and then you're just there for people to sell you shit, and that's all it is. And that's totally off topic of tinnitus, but then again, it's really not, because it's a whole life thing, okay? So I hope that explains something. I hope you can rewind and watch that, and I hope that you also do your own research, and I hope you get rid of tinnitus. I really do. And I also hope that you have the wit about you to ignore people who are just very angry, bitter people who don't want to see a solution to tinnitus because it would hurt them too much because they've been living with it for so long, okay? So talk soon.